All right, welcome. It's Tuesday, August 15th, and we're back for another episode of the Ascend Sales Podcast. I'm your host, James Jacoby. Today, we are going to talk about closing more deals right now because you need to and you want to. I know you want to. And we got to reload the pipe. We got to reload the sales pipeline so you can have a huge Q4. If you're not thinking about it now, you better start because it takes a little bit of time. So we got to start planning this stuff now so that October through December is insane for your business. We're going to get into all of this fun stuff. But first, let's do it. Love that. It's so fun. Thanks for having fun with me here. So, all right, I'm your host, James Jacoby. I'm a B2B sales expert, been in the space for 20 years. I'm the owner and founder of Ascend Advisors. We are a sales development and lead generation company for B2B services. So, got a lot of knowledge on this topic, and I want to help you today. I want to help you. I want you to send us messages, send us questions. You can do Q&A while we're live. That's why I do this. You get the benefit of tuning in, and I appreciate your time. And we want to help you have more impact and ROI today. So if you got Q&A, you got questions, send them in or private message me, and we'll get started. So I don't know a single person that doesn't want to close more deals right now for your business, right? We can always want to close more deals, yes? So how do we do that? And what is the magic formula or thing that helps you do that more? So I'm going to tell you a quick story before we get into some factoids and some stats and some strategies and some tips, which I'm going to share all of that on this podcast today. But at one point in time, I wasn't a very good salesperson. I was actually pretty bad. And I worked hard. I worked like 70 hours a week in my corporate sales job for a year. And I was still like number, almost last out of, I think at the time it was, I don't know, maybe 80 salespeople in the company. So, I could have quit, could have said, it's not for me. I'm not very good at this. I thought I was, but I wasn't. Or we can try something different, which takes a lot of guts to tell your ego that, hey, buddy, you need to maybe try a different approach because what you're doing isn't working. So, what does it hurt to change who you are and be someone different, which might be part of the answer for you today. So, that was my situation. I wanted to buy a ring for my beautiful girlfriend, who's now my wife. Couldn't afford it. Was really upset about that. Wanted to grow and progress in my company and be successful and make more money. Who doesn't when you're young and older? But I'll tell you, some things I'm going to share with you guys today were real things for me too, and they still apply to me and then you and everyone else today. They're lifelong, true facts and lessons about growing sales in your business or in your territory. Or it doesn't matter if you own the business, doesn't matter if you're a salesperson in the business. All this stuff we're talking about today applies. So just wanted to share some things that are real and validated, not just from me, but from some of the biggest companies in the space. So first things first is, how did I go from last into that story? 6 months later, I was number one on the leaderboard in the company, almost exactly. Like night and day. People didn't recognize who I was. They're like, how did you get there, dude? Like, you weren't even that good a little bit ago. Now you're number one? How? How do you grow sales quickly and just change the entire game for your business? How do you flip the switch and completely change the trajectory of your business really, really quickly? Well, there's a couple of things you got to do. One is you got to get smarter about who you're spending time with, and realize, for me, I was spending time with prospects that I knew in the heart of hearts were never going to buy from me, ever. They liked me because I was nice. I'm fun to be around, but they weren't going to buy. Or maybe they were going to buy, way later. Wasn't going to be soon or help you now. So, you got to be smart with, like, who is really, really itching to buy and implement your service or product soon, like right now, can pull the trigger and go. And which ones honestly aren't. Like, there's going to be people in your pipeline that do want to buy from you and really want to work with you. They're literally not ready yet. They literally, in their brain, they got things of stuff they got to sort out, figure out. And some of that is excuses. And some of that is their own self-talk of holding themselves back. So you actually have to have an honest conversation with them about that. We're going to get into that in a second on closing deals. You could actually close more deals with having some good, honest conversations. But there still might be some things that just say, you know what, it really is just not the best time, and we should do it later. There's strategy for the closing deals still with that too, which we'll get into. Or they just really aren't going to buy from you. They're just not. It's not a good fit. Over half of your prospects in your funnel do not fit your ideal customer profile. HubSpot. It's true. Also, think about where you can close business. I was focused on everything under the sun to try to close business, and it was super inefficient. I was asking myself, where's my best margins? What are the ICPs or ideal customer profiles or typical prospects, whatever you want to call it? Who are the people that usually buy from you? Do you want to have more of those clients, or do you want to change and have a different persona? If you know who's already buying from you and you have a track record and you can repeat success, why wouldn't you want to do more of that? Just saying. Cash can't hurt you, can it? Maybe you want to try something new. Maybe you want to be someone different. Maybe you want to target a different audience. Maybe you can do both. Like, build up your base of what you know works, get that fueling everything else, and then go simultaneously play around in that other space that's maybe not yet as proven. You got to balance that up. But what's your close rate, right? What's your close rate typically on your offer right now for what you sell? Do you know what it is? Have you measured it lately? Look at the last month. Look at the last 2 months. Look at the last year. How many sales? What's your total sales? How many clients have you got in the last year? Divide that. That's your average transaction per client for revenue for a year. Divide that by 12. That's your monthly, revenue you're getting off these clients in a year. That should tell you how much you're going to make. And then, do you like that number? How many meetings, sales calls did you have to close that many clients? And what's that number look like? See, part of the lesson here, guys, with figuring out how to close more sales now is to understand what you already do and what you should continue doing right now and what you should stop doing right now that's holding you back from making more money. And some of these reflections and messages, I got my little guy here today, are going to give you some clues to what you got to make changes on. It's so hard to have awareness on what's going on in your business when you're doing this and you can't see over there, you can't see over there, or your kid's on Zoom. Like, you just don't know. You never know what's going to come into your day, right? But you got to think through what are the stats in your business currently, so you can make some decisions that are not emotionally based, that are factually based about your reality right now. What's the reality of your business? Let the numbers do the talking. Okay. So numbers talk, guys. Numbers don't carry emotions. Numbers are real, the truth. They're reflections in a mirror of your business. What are the numbers in your business right now? And think about that as we get into it in the next 10 minutes. How are we going to close more sales? How do we fill this pipeline up, right? So when you look at your pipeline right now, who's in it? Who are deals in the mix that you got that are hanging out there that you're like, they told me they wanted to buy, they haven't signed the contract yet, or they haven't signed and paid yet, or they emailed me and they said they wanted to move forward, but nothing's happened, and it's been days or it's been weeks, and I don't know what to do. Does that sound familiar? Well, first of all, don't be this. Don't be this guy. 48% of salespeople never even make a single follow-up attempt. Hopefully that's not you, but if it is you, don't do this anymore because it's killing you in your sales. You need to follow up a lot. Not be annoying, but you need to follow up through the entire process. Follow up to get the meeting, follow up to make progress in the sale even after your first call, follow up when you send the proposal or send the contract. Like, there's got to be lots of follow up, and there needs to be, on top of this, once you're deeper in the process, always get checks of agreement. Get them to agree and even own the next step in the sales process. If you're just pitching and pushing and saying buy my stuff and they're not giving you equal energy there, it's probably because you're not asking for it. And that's where most people are making the mistake is you got to be abundant, not desperate. You can't be desperate for sales, guys. You can't be desperate for sales. Even if you need them, and most people do. You can't be desperate. You gotta be abundant. You got to have the energy of like, would love to work with you. Hope we can work together. But you know what? If you choose not to and work with us, I'm good. We got great clients. We got a great business. We can help and serve really great people that want to get this outcome that we can help you with. And, if it's not the right time or not right fit, I'm good. You don't say it like that in front of your prospect, but in your mind, you got to have this energy of like, You don't need this business. You're good without it. You got enough coming in. You're going to be fine. You're going to grow. You don't need this next deal to make or break your business, right? You got to have that energy. With that, you can't be salesy or long-winded in anything that you do in your direct messages on LinkedIn, in your email follow-up, and how you present. It's got to be conversational, guys. People, you know this. People do not want to buy from a salesperson. No one wants to buy that. People want to buy stuff that they like, that they think is good. They want to buy from a friendly, supportive expert that is consultative, that can help them improve. Like they feel very confident this person or company can help them solve their issue and move forward quickly. People do not want to stay in pain, right? You got to be able to prove and show that whatever the itch is, or the pain, or the frustration, or the anxiety of that person in their business, of the thing that they want to go away, or they want more of something, you got to be able, through a great, honest conversation, show them that you're the person, and there is no better option to fix this issue and get it done now. The biggest thing that's holding you all back from closing more deals right now is, for whatever reason, and sometimes, and a lot of times, it's not necessarily your fault, but as a salesperson, you gotta, this is your job. There's not enough urgency. There's not enough urgency in your sale. There's not a compelling reason to move forward today. And that is going to slow your sales down a lot. People are looking, remember this and believe this because it's true. People are looking for help from a business like yours right now. People are looking for help from a business like yours right now. I guarantee you that's true. Guarantee it. It's not a lot of people out there. It's a little bit of the market, but there are people in the market that desperately want to get help and buy a service or a product that from a company like yours. But you got competition. You have competitors. You have an awareness problem. You have a credibility problem. You have the energies of a daily life in a business owner or salesperson's problem, where they get distracted with other problems, even though they have this one that they need your help with. So you have got to figure out how to create more urgency in your deals right now. And it's not a difficult thing to do. It's pretty simple. I mean, there's a lot of tactics out there that you probably are familiar with or have seen before, but really, at the end of the day, it's having an honest conversation and having that abundant energy in that conversation. You're not salesy, but to say, listen, like, you told me that this is a big problem in your business right now. Like, how long has this issue been going on? Really? And how long have you been thinking about changing this or wanting to make this better? What do you think is on the other side of this when this is fixed, or when this is better for you? What do you hope is in your life and in your business? What's different about it? And whatever that answer is, and that is, then what is more important than having that be a reality in your life, in your business right now? What is more important right now in your business than having that? Honestly. And if there's an answer, good. But let's get real with it. Is there other priorities and things in your life that are more important than this right now for you? Maybe this isn't the most important thing for you right now. But if it is the most important thing, and there's just things in the way that have been in the way for days and weeks and months, then maybe it's time to be different. No? What's going to change if we don't change today? So, and let's see if I can get this right. One of my favorite people I follow out there. This is not my thing. I remember this from somebody else. But it goes something like, I can't help you until you commit. But once you commit, I won't let you fail. That's a quote from Mr. Coach Michael Burt, if you watch this. But such a great closing line. Can't help you till you commit, but once you commit, I won't let you fail. Solid. But like, dude, 80% of the sales guys is emotion. It's emotionally based. We make the buying decisions about stuff all the time, every day, that is completely irrational. And you got to remember that. People know logically they need probably what you have, but they let other crap get in the way and they kick the can down the road. Everybody does it. So, help them find a way to move forward with you today. Like you got to get on the phone with this. Like you can't do this over email. It won't work. You got to ask them to like, hey, can we talk for 10 minutes today or 5 minutes? I got something I got to run by you. You really do. You got something you want to run by them, and we got to talk. When can I get you for 5? Does 12 work? Does 1:30 work? Does 4:05 work? What works for you today? Let me know. And I'm not desperate, but I'm being assertive in that. And we got to get on the phone because you can't keep holding energy with all these deals out there and they're not moving, because all that energy that you're holding there could be used to get other deals that actually want to work with you. People that want to work with you that aren't going to be this slow or stuck. There's other people that will move fast for you, but you're not even looking over there because you're focused on stuff that doesn't move. So you gotta deal with these deals ASAP and be totally cool with they move forward or they don't, and it's good. But have the honest conversation with them. Some will let you and some won't. You know what? And the ones that won't, honestly, maybe they really actually are not ready to deal with the problem. It's nothing against you. They're just not ready to deal with the problem yet. And there's nothing you could do to close that sale. There's just nothing you can do about it. But you got to protect your energy because you can't spend all the time in the world on deals that just sit out there. You got to keep reloading your pipeline. So, but train yourself, be sharp, be prepared. What are the objections? What are the obstacles? What are all the possible things of why this deal isn't happening today? Well, let's go see if we can break that down, get rid of the clutter, get rid of the noise, get this person focused, get this person excited on the outcome, and see if they would agree that getting the outcome today makes the most sense for them now. And see what happens. Reloading the pipeline. You can never stop selling, guys. I've made that mistake so many times in my career where you make a lot of sales, you get fat and happy, you slow down because you're feeling good, and then little by little, day by day, week by week, month by month, your momentum decelerates. And then you wake up one day wondering what happened, right? You can never stop. So this is why you got to have systems in the business. You got to have systems in your business development processes. You got to have follow-up systems. And stop guessing. Stop guessing with what is going on in your business. Know the numbers. Just measure it. Get real. How many people, how many leads, how many sales calls do you need to have every month to sustain, not grow, sustain sales and revenue in your business? How many much more than leads and sales and people and calls do you need to have to grow your sales? What are those numbers? Numbers do not lie. You may not be very good at sales, which we can improve efficiency and effectiveness. And I can show you that in our masterclass that we're going to do next Thursday, which I'm going to run that on the banner right now on the bottom. But if you don't do enough output, I don't care how good you are playing with fire. Like, dude, look at Major League Baseball players, right? The best hitters in the world in the Hall of Fame hit 30% of the time on base. 30% is like the best, right? 30%. Same with it's a funny stat because it's actually the same thing with sales, right? High performing sales organizations are around 30% close rate. That's the best. 30%. 20% is about average, more normal. But just think about what that means, right? Like, because we forget 80% of the people that you meet, that get on your calendar, that you have a call with, are never going to buy from you. And that's okay. It's okay. But what's the numbers? How many calls do you need to get how many sales closed? What's the number? How much money do you want to make? That's my other question for you. How much money do you want right now? What's the number you keep thinking about that gets you excited of how much money you want in the bank right now? And how much you need in the bank right now? Do the numbers, do the math. Don't guess. Be curious, fascinated, and treat your business like an experiment that you measure, because it actually is a machine and a system. That's all it is. It's just a game. It's just a system and a machine and a game with rules. And there's trends, there's strategies that work in the game, and there's stuff that doesn't work in the game. There's ways to win in the game, and there is ways to lose in the game. Just take the emotion out of sales. Take the emotion out of it and be super curious, super fascinated, and measure this stuff, guys. And then we can build the game plan, right? Then we can build the game plan. So how much money do you want in the bank? How much money do you want in the next week, next month, next 2 months? Question for you. Have you ever made that amount of money in that time span before? If you haven't, that's okay. But I'm just curious. Have you ever done that before? And if you have, what did you do? What did you do to get that? And what were all the underlying circumstances that helped you? Because you got to be real about that too. What helped you get that? Was it just you? Was it other people? Was it timing? Like what was it? Right? There's clues in that. Like if you made $20,000 in a week, or $50,000 in a week, or $100,000 in a week, or whatever the number is before, guess what? You can do it again. And you can do it again, and you can do it again, and again, and again. But if you don't study it, though, and you don't measure it, and you look at what it took to actually produce that outcome, then you'll never be able to predictably repeat that outcome. You just can't. Like you gotta know what it took. You gotta be students of our own game. So you want to close more deals now? Take those tips. Join the masterclass. We'll cover a lot more in the masterclass next Thursday. Just message me and we'll send you a private invite. It's free. It's a 2-hour masterclass. We're gonna drop a ton of stuff in there, a ton of guides, templates, scripts. We're gonna go under the hood and get real deep in how you can be more effective in your sales process right now. So message me. I'll get you an invitation. And start like getting your head wrapped around this, right? Like it is August. October's Q4. It's like 7 weeks away. So if you want sales in Q4, the moment Q4 starts, pipeline starts today. It actually started probably a while ago. I have another stat somewhere. I did this in another podcast, but a lot of people who are looking at you right now, they were looking at you like 3 to 6 months ago. It wasn't just recently. They've been looking at you usually for a while. So you got to continue to put out content and stuff that people can learn from, see, get a feel for you, know that you're talking about stuff that they care about. So make posts that share your point of view on a topic your audience cares about. Make sure that's a thing you do often. Remember that you can't just do one email, one call, one DM and hope you get a meeting with somebody that you want to get a meeting with. You got to do some more touch points, guys, too. Like, look at your touch points. If you want to boost sales and boost outcomes, odds are, I'll roll the dice in this, but I'm going to probably bet against the house on this one. You're not doing enough touch points. You're not doing enough follow-up. You got to boost your activity. And look, no one is saying you got to sell and be in your business all day. Just be smart about it. Like, do you have structure in your company right now of when you sell and when you don't? And how much time do you do that activity? Make this, sales arguably is the number one priority in your business always. So that being the case, I can't tell you how many business owners that I know that do not prioritize this and they put it last, or they put it and kick the can on pipeline and deals because they're dealing with hot issues and clients and fires and whatever else, people, hiring, firing. Sales is number one. You need it to grow and have cash and keep your business going and grow it, to fund payroll, to fund investments, to do all sorts of stuff. So block out time every day to do sales and commit to it. And just be real. We talk about this at Ascend all the time with our sales team. Like, you can't go from 0 to 90 tomorrow in your effort. You'll burn out. That's not realistic. No one's telling you to do that or suggesting it. It's a bad strategy. But you can do a comfortable amount of activity in an hour or 90-minute window tops before you start to get bored, tired, distracted, whatever. So all that. But chunk out 60 to 90-minute blocks of activity where you can do calls, follow-up, email, DMs, text messages, whatever it is, all of it, to your pipeline and to new prospects every day. Measure it, how much you did, put a goal around it, make it a game, gamify it, give yourself a contest and a goal to hit for the day, for the week, and be super curious and fascinated and unattached from the outcome so that in a week from now, 2 weeks from now, you can look back and say, hey, I did all this effort. I did it in a way that was energetically good. I wasn't chasing. I wasn't desperate. I wasn't freaking out. I wasn't anxious most of the time. I was pretty good, good headspace. I gave them my best effort. And what happened? Did you get some meetings set? Did you close some sales? Did you get some new leads? Did you get some referrals? All the above? Did you get some feedback on your service or your product? Did you learn something about a competitor? Did you learn a new thing about what your market wants that you maybe didn't position? All these things could be and probably are going to happen, which is good. Document all that. Write it down. What did you learn? Implement it. Get better the next run. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. So, hope you enjoyed this podcast today. Sign up for the masterclass at the bottom. We're going to spend a ton of time on this next week on Thursday. Message me if you got questions, guys, and go close some more deals. Take care.